Oh, hello, welcome to People Human Rights. I am Olga. This is our 23rd video, and we will be talking about patience, being patient, and then we will go into the book of Daniel. All right. So, what is being patient? What is patience? You need, when we ask something to God, we need to wait for God to give us what we asked Him, because God needs to prepare the way for what we asked. So He needs to prepare the places, the events, the people, okay? And He needs to prepare ourselves to receive that thing that we asked. If God has already His plan for something, so He does prepare Himself the things without even you knowing He's preparing something for you. But if you ask, you need to ask, to let God prepare things in their time. Of course, there are things that are urgent, so like, of course, we're not entering that way. If there is a danger somewhere, God will send His angel immediately. So it's not about that. But if we want something, for example, you want to open, how can I say, an enterprise, or yes, okay, but you need to give God some time in order to do that, to prepare for you the place, the people you need to meet, to prepare you yourself. Or maybe you need to learn more law. You need to be better in accounts. There is time to prepare all that. Huh? So that's why being patient, anyway, doesn't mean staying there without doing anything and waiting for things to come. Even if things come right now, if you're not prepared, you will not be able to use it or to benefit from that thing properly. Sometimes you ask, God gives you, but you yourself, you didn't prepare yourself. So when the thing comes, it's not even enjoyable because there are many things missing in you, in this. Yeah. So let's read Matthew 25, verse 13. Matthew 25. Verse 13. Watch, therefore, for you know neither the day, neither the hour when the Son of Man will come. And this is also for when the enemy will try to harm you. You don't know, so you need to watch and to work. All right. Then let's go to Isaiah 40, verses 3 to 5. Isaiah 30. Isaiah 40, verses 3 to 5. a voice of one calling in the wilderness, prepare the way for the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Every valley shall be raised up, every mountain and hill made low. The rough ground shall become level, the rugged places a plain, and the glory of the Lord will be revealed, and all people will see it together. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken. Okay, so you can also read Mark 1 verse 3 and Luke 3 verse 4. But you need to prepare yourself. All right? God will prepare the way, and you need to prepare yourself. And first, with your faith, so you pray, you praise God, you make offerings, you give the thanks, you sing songs to God. So you show your faith and your gratitude to God. And then you need also to do what God has told us to do. So what did God say? To practice justice, to forgive to your neighbor. Of course, you need to know who is in front of you. God doesn't ask you to forgive the devil, okay? So, but your human brother, many people are under the influence of bad energies. Sometimes they can do bad things, but if you know who they are, you should forgive. And then you need to share with people, or to give to the needy. Of course, what does Luke 3 says? Luke 3, est-ce que c'est cela? Verse 11. You can read 11 to 16. You can read all the chapter anyway. Verse 11. So, John answered, anyone who has 2 shirts should share with the one who has none, and anyone who has food should do the same. And also say you need to fight for justice. You need to fight against evil people, against murders, against looting, against mistreating, slavery, against poverty, against just every injustice among people who ask just for their rights, or for who insert themselves because they have the right, because they are oppressed, and they are taken to jail, to arrested, mistreated, they are shot, No, you need to fight against all that, against the people expropriating others who are on their land, taking their land to make profit. You need to combat all the evil forces and the human who use them also to make the wars, the looting. Well, you know everything. You need to fight against lies, lies in history, lies. All those needs to be fought, to be. What does Matthew 10 verse 8 to 16 says? Matthew 10. Verse 8 to 10. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. Okay, let's go straight to verse 11 because there's some things to readjust in verses 9 and 10. Whatever town or village you enter, search there for some worthy person and stay at their house until you leave. As you enter the home, give it your greeting. If the home is deserving, let your peace rest on it. If it is not, let your peace return to you. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off your feet. Truly I tell you, it will be more bearable for Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for that town. Verse 16. I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore, be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. Be on your guard. Okay. Yeah, you will be handed over to the local council and be freed from this. Okay, yes, you can read that. Yeah, so it's not easy to follow God, but God comes with, in His time, with His salary for everyone. Okay? So, I say we can read Revelation 11, verses 17 to 19. Yes, from verse 16 to 18. And the 24 elders who were seated on their throne before God fell on their face and worshipped God, saying, We give thanks to you, Lord God Almighty, the one who is and who was, because you have taken your great power and have begun to reign. The other nations were angry, and your wrath has come. The time has come for judging the dead and for rewarding your servants, the prophets, and your people who revere your name, both great and small, and for destroying those who destroy the earth. Okay. So, and there's also Revelation 14. Okay, let's read Revelation 14. It's a bit long, but we will read it because it's important to understand some things. Attends, let's read. Okay, let's read from the verse 6. Verse 6, where because God works with angels. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of water. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented, etc., etc. So, and then when you are waiting from something to receive something from God, you need to work on it. You need to work on it. For example, if I take again you want to open a company, for example, but you need to start to take some to do some trainings. Maybe you need some trainings in something. You need to start to research the clients. Yeah, who will need your service? Who or maybe you needed to, enfin, to do something. Oh, where should I do that? Oh no, it will be online. Oh no, it will be. I need a place. I need to find a good. Yeah, you need to put yourself in the mind of an entrepreneur. You see, so whatever you ask God, you need to prepare yourself to receive that thing. Okay? And so this is because God makes everything on his time. He will not do that before the time. God needs to be ready. Yeah, and you need to be ready. And even if you force, you want to some things you force, If the time of God has not come, you will not be able to enjoy that because there will be things missing. You see? And God will not do things after, otherwise, they will not be useful. And by preparing yourself, you need to recognize the time of God, to recognize that, okay, this is my opening. Okay, that person is the one God sent to me. Oh, you need, so it's with prayer, honey. You need to stay in spirit, to pray, to be able to recognize the times, to be able to catch your gift, your rewards, or what you ask from God. And yeah, so now, okay, let's go to chip file. No, it's James 5, 7. Yeah, James 5, verse 7. Be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. You too, be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. Yeah. When a farmer sows a seed, he doesn't harvest at that second. He needs to work a lot to take care of that seed to grow, to wait till it is harvest time. It can take time. Sometimes it takes a year, but there are some plants, for example, who you have to wait 5 years to have the fruit. You see what I mean? So it shows in his time. Thanks to God, all the things doesn't need 5 years to happen, but each thing's in his time. And work for it, prepare yourself for it, and let God do his job as well. Okay. So now let's go in the book of Daniel, because the times in which we are very expressive. Yeah. So let's read Daniel 12. Daniel 12. Okay, let's go. At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. There will be a time of distress, such as not happened from the beginning of nation until then. But at that time, your people, every one whose name is found written in the book, will be delivered. Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake, some to everlasting life, others to shame and everlasting contempt. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, roll up and seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. Many will go here and there to increase knowledge. Then I, Daniel, looked, and there before me stood 2 others, one on his back on this bank of the river and one on the opposite bank. One of them said to the man clothed in linen who was above the waters of the river, so the first man who was talking to Daniel. So there are 3 angels there. How long will it be before these astonishing things are fulfilled? The man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, lifted his right hand and his left hand towards heaven, and I heard him swear by him who lives forever, saying, it will be for a time, times, and half a time, when the power of the holy people has been finally broken. All these things will be completed. I heard, but I did not understand. So I asked, my Lord, what will be the outcome of all this? He replied, go your way, Daniel, because the words are rolled up and sealed until the time of the end. Many will be purified, made spotless and refined, but the wicked will continue to be wicked. None of the wicked will understand, but those who are wise will understand. From the time that the sacrifice, perpetual sacrifice, is abolished, and the abomination that causes devastation is set up, there will be 1,290 days. Blessed is the one who waits for and reaches the end of the 1,335 days. Okay, verse 13 is about Daniel. Yes, so verse 9, the angels doesn't say everything, even to the prophets. No, the angel says to you what you need to know. That's all. And so if we and the words, you see the translation. The good translation of God times is the word time. It's not the word day. So there will be 1,220 days. No, it's not the days like 24 hours. So the good translation is time, because it is God who sets the times. For example, in the book of Ezra, but I don't remember exactly the place, it is said that day will be of 7 years. How can a day be 7 years? So it's confusion. It's not day. Translation is not days. Translation is time. As in the verse 11. As the verse 7. It will be for a time, times, and half a time. This is the good translation. Okay, so this is something. And now, so you see that as we approach the end, all those things, and when the verse 7 says, when the power of the holy people has been finally broken, all these things will be completed. So God is preparing himself to come. Let's say that. Because when we see the situation, especially in the human's motherland, it's exactly this situation. And the autochthons of the human motherland were and of the diaspora, of course, and they are in the diaspora, they are everywhere, the islands and okay. The holy people, the Israelites, the people of God that have been so much mistreated, God is coming at his time to take them out of slavery, out of oppression. Okay. And you see in the human motherland that this time is coming because the people raise up. They raise up for their rights. There's another time coming. But we also see that in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where everything has started, where God has put the first man he created, where there is the sanctuary of God, where do the Israelites, the land, that holy land, you see that things are much slow there, because not that it is easy in the other, no, it's the same, but in that particular region, they just want to wipe out the awakening of the people, to oppress them, to eradicate them, and to take over the land, thinking that God will let them do, or thinking that they can. But this is what the evil want. And that is why it's this big land, because country is what the European created. There's no country in the human motherland. There's the lands and the people to whom belongs the land. And some other people came on the north, bon bref, it's anyway. So in the human motherland, the autochthon people are now saying that's enough. So it's good, because they are preparing the way for God. They are preparing the way of God. They are doing what they need to get out of slavery and oppression. But it's more difficult in the RDC, because this is the place of the sanctuary of God, and in some region at the east, where God put Adam and Eve and all this. You see that so in all this, you see that it's more difficult, but they will wake up. Actually, all together, it is coming. And also, when you see to verse 11, the last things, it's Exodus 13 we need to read for the perpetual sacrifice. Because when in the verse 7 here they say, when the... Okay, vous sortez aujourd'hui. No, let's go to Exodus. Exodus 13. Okay. Verse 6 to 10. Okay, verse 5. When the Lord brings you into the land flowing with milk and honey, you are to observe this ceremony in this month. For 7 days, eat bread made without yeast, and on the 7th day, hold a festival to the Lord. Eat unleavened bread during those 7 days. Nothing with yeast in it is to be seen among you, nor shall any yeast be seen anywhere within your borders. On that day, tell your son, I do this because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt. This observance will be for you like a sign on your hand and a reminder on your forehead that this law of the Lord is to be on your lips. For the Lord brought you out of Egypt with his mighty hand. You must keep this ordinance at the appointed time and year after year. In the verse 4, it is said, today, in the month of Aviv, you are living. That month is in the month of it's a month in the original Hebrew calendar. So it is written month of Aviv, but I need to write. In that month, you needed to have 7 days for God, where you eat bread with no yeast, and at the end of the 7th day, you thank God. You do a feast, a feast, we holy feast, celebration for God. Okay, and this has to be from generation to generation. This is called the perpetual sacrifice. That it's an